Let me ask you a question. Mallory gets whatever Mallory wants, right? That's what we, because she ain't gonna have it no other way. Mallory gets whatever Mallory wants. Did you ever question yourself as to why Mallory couldn't get Barney? I love you, you love me. I'm not screwing Mallory. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Beauty in Black. This is season 1, episode 5. And yes, I was questioning. I said, well, how did that actually go? And you know how Tyler does things. He just pinned it and he ran past it. Like, how is it that Mallory couldn't convince Barney to sleep with her when she holds all the power? But whatever, Tyler definitely let us know exactly why Mallory couldn't get that old Barney, honey. Anyway, but I'll get to it in just a second. Just sit tight, because that was the good part about this little episode. I said, "Oh, you don't say." Anyway, first thing, old Body and Madam. That's what I call her, Madam, the old chick. Y'all know the old head from the club. She comes out, which that's weird too. Tyler, the madam don't do dirty work. That's the whole part of being the madam. Like, once you become the old hoe, you don't do the dirty work. You don't screw no more. You screw who you want. You don't come out and do the dirty work. So that looked really weird and really off for me, but not my story, not my script. But Body and old Madame and 2 other girls goes out and run up on Kimmy and jump Kimmy. Body is weak. She really is. Body is a whole bunch of mouth. She loud. She's like that loud girl, but she ain't really. I'm just looking at Kimmy like, Kimmy, if you really like, I mean, she always come with a crowd. Like, she had Dogga with her and Dogga's little boyfriend. Well, I'm just glad that he didn't actually get in it and be hitting nobody or nothing like that. He was just cleaning up. But she's always rolling with somebody else because she's not that girl. If Kimmy just turn around and fight Body, just turn around and fight her. Like, stop being all scary. Beat her ass. And then things will actually change for you. You just don't know it, but things will change. Whoop her ass and move on. Because she's not that girl. But she come out with Madam and these other 2 girls. They done jump Kimmy to prove whatever point she got. Then they go sit up in a restaurant and what was it, like an Eaton Park? It was like some little dive restaurant. I was like, but y'all bad bitches, right? Okay. Okay. I'm not from the South. Somebody drop it in the comments. Tell me, oh, that's right. They ain't in Atlanta. They in Chicago. I was going to ask y'all, do bad bitches leave the club? Do the girls leave Magic City and go to the Waffle House? Waffle House is popular though. They might. But just like little, for me, strippers that I know of, they live. They make money and they spend money. I don't see like the top of the strip game sitting in the Waffle House. But y'all go down there in them comments and tell me, in the South, do the strippers really like hang out in the Waffle House and Denny's and Eaton Park, or do they actually live? Because I know here, up my way, I'm in Pittsburgh. Up my way, the strippers live, baby. The strippers here, they make money and they eat lobsters and crabs and things like that. They ain't ordering no omelet from down to the Eaton Park. That's just not how they move. Anyway, but okay, so then we got Norman and Jules actually have a conversation. And this is when this comes out about what Norman's situation is as pertains to the company. No spouse, no shares. If you ain't got no spouse and you ain't got no kids, then your shares actually go back to the family. That's how their contracts and things are written up. Their daddy did that. I was like, oh, wow. So that's the whole thing. Remember, his brother is just like whatever. He really is just whatever. Horace is like whatever. And Jules is exactly what Mallory, that showed you where how Mallory is really smart, because Mallory don't trust Jules. And she shouldn't. Jules is literally there. Jules is loyal to no one but Jules. Jules is playing all ends against the middle. And he's the type of dictator that should really watch itself, because you're so evil and so mean and so cutthroat to everybody around you. Don't you think that at some point everybody around you is going to be against you? You're going to have a target on your back. But that's generally people like that, with that old mean over spirit like that. They don't get it. They're so narcissistic that they think everybody needs them, everybody loves them, more than they love the people, and they just run it into the ground until they actually find that knife in their back, and they be like, well, who did it? We don't know, because there's 20 people standing around with knives. We don't know who did it. So whatever, Jules. But anyway, he's over there, and like I said, there are no children. Ina and Norman have no children, and if Ina dies, then there's just Norman. And if Norman checks out, his money goes back to the family. And that's what he was saying. They want her out. They want her out. That's why he's like, she's his everything. They want her out. So, Jules is still running around pretending he don't know what happened. He don't know who did it. He's just letting Norman fire out things like, because he swears this is his nephew. And actually it is one of his nephews. It's Roy. Roy hit her second. It was actually Mallory that hit her first, but Roy hit her second. Still one of the nephews. Just a whole mess. But I just looked at Jules, and that gave us our full picture of Jules. Jules playing all ends against the middle. All ends against the middle. He don't give a shit about none of that family at all. And probably as he should, because they're pretty cutthroat too. But Mallory has been right this whole time. Let's see. Next we got Kimmy and Roy. Roy finally gets his little meet back up with Kimmy, and Roy, it really is an idiot. I think he's a little bit slow. Like seriously, like for real. Like I think they're just a rich family, and it probably wasn't really documented. But I would be willing to bet that Roy really should have an IEP as he was coming through school. He should, not completely, like he's not autistic or anything. Well, I don't know, because he could actually have been on the spectrum and they just cover it up. You know what I mean? But definitely at least have an IEP in his files, because he just don't, everything ain't going all the way up. He's just scattered. Like he's just scattered. You're telling, you're mistreating this girl. I know you can't think this girl likes you. And you steadily popping off all your problems and all your issues. And then a part of it is you so coked up. And listen, anybody who's been around anybody, let me tell you about a cokehead. Anybody that's been around anybody who does cocaine, they have very quick highs and very quick lows. And if they're comfortable with a person, you ain't even got to be like all that, but just comfortable, they will tell you everything that you don't need to know about them. Their mouth just, that's why most people who be on coke, they be so high so quick that they end up being the life of the party. But when the party ain't in full party mode, and if it's just you and you don't do coke, and you sit with a person that has done coke, baby, they're going to talk your ear off. They're going to talk your ear off. And if you're a bitch like me, Let me say that again for the slow ones in the back. If you're a bitch like me, you just be like, you don't say. See, I love the conversation that's not actually being had. Catch. I've always loved the conversation that's not really being had because I like to know where people really sit. I don't like guesswork when it comes to people. I'll do it with you. I'll do the guesswork with you. But truly at my core, I like to know who's who. I like to know who's. I have respect for a person like a homophobe. Let's go. Here we go. We're going to veer off. I say all the time, I have no problem sitting with a homophobe. And I'm about one of the gayest people that you'll ever meet. I have no problem sitting with a homophobe. I have no problem with it. I like sitting with a racist because I want to know exactly what we're dealing with. And then we can get down to the nitty gritty of it all. Now, I ain't going to be in relation with you. But I could definitely be in your presence because I ain't got to watch you all that much. It's the bitch that's so in love. So in love, so in love. That's the bitch you got to sit and watch. Because you got to listen to this hoe for the conversation that's not being had. But a person that says, I don't like gay people and I don't like them for this reason, that reason, and that reason. Oh, yeah, we can have a conversation all day long. Because you straight up with it. You stand in your bag and you straight up in it. I don't really care for black people because of this reason, and that. Okay, cool. But not, oh, I really love you. Some of my best friends are monsters. I don't know. I don't want to sit with that bitch, really. Not really. Because it's too much work. I got to figure out where your head is. Because, see, you think you smarter than me. And then 99.95, you not. You not, because I'm listening to you, bitch. You won't get me coming in the back door because I was standing at the front door waiting on you all along, and I had cameras in the yard. So you won't get me. But so that's that. But I do. Me and the cocaine users, baby, I sit right there and listen to them. They don't tell you everything. Everything. And if it's a person you really like, it'll actually strengthen your relationship because you know the real them. And you know where to fit in for them as a friend. If it's a bitch you don't care for too much, you know exactly where to watch, so you know when to knock that hoe's head off. So that's just kind of how I move. Anyway, back down off my soapbox, but bam, and I'm back. Let's move. Okay, so there's that whole thing. But Kimmy, Roy be telling Kimmy all his business. And now she got his dad telling her all his business. So just keep on talking, Roy, you stupid ass. And then he ends up sitting up there and she convinced his stupid ass that she didn't call Mallory. She didn't make the phone call Mallory. And he was like, all right. And then he's like telling her to, suck him off or whatever. And it just, and then see, Kimmy's irritating me too. Because Kimmy, you're not really playing your part. Here I go, get ready to tell my business again. Can I tell you how I would handle Roy? First of all, Roy's cute. I know he's mean and he's stupid, but Roy is of the nature, all Kimmy got to do is handle Roy. If Kimmy handles Roy the way Roy should be handled, Kimmy should be able to, I would do Roy dirty. Do you understand me? Because it's not like he's fat and disgusting and nothing. He ain't anything like that. You a hoe anyway. You a hoe doing hoe shit anyway. Baby, I would turn Roy upside down. All to my benefit. Girl, get your shit off because she ain't got no man. Get what you need out of Roy. Make Roy perform. Make all you got to do, girl. He's easy to get. He's sexually frustrated as hell because that coke got him and stuff ain't working, girl. Seduce him, sis. What part of the game is you playing? You ain't I know you were thrown into the whole game. You were thrown into it, but at some point you learned something. At some point you learn something. You may just be thrown into being a cashier, but goddamn, bitch, at some point you learn how to count. seduce him, wrap him up around your finger, and then you're queen. And you can see it. He's such a gump, it wouldn't even be an issue to do it to him. And I'm sitting there looking at him and looking at her, and even in all his meanness and all that, he a cute little thing. You ain't got no man. You ain't never being pleasured. Get what you need from him, as well as getting your job done. Wrap him up and put him in your pocket. You got to be a hoe, be a smart hoe. Anyway, and she already knows she can maneuver him. Look what you did. You got him and Mallory fighting. You want to really get him and Mallory fighting? Girl, screw him properly. And you could really get him and Mallory to fighting over you, stupid. Oh, child, the game. Anyway, so that's that whole thing right there. Let me get out of here because I'm telling way too much of my business. Let's move right along. Okay, so Angel's girlfriend done tracked him. She calling him on the phone. This was real ghetto. I loved her move. Real ghetto. She calling him, where you at? This, that, the other, because he's like late getting home. He done been over there messing around with Horace. And it went longer than what they thought. Trying to get the blood all up off him and all that old nasty filthiness. Anyway, so she calling. And then the next thing you know, she gets him. She said, come outside. You hear the car alarm going off. Baby, she outside in the car. Got her two brothers with her, baby. And old Angel ain't one his pretty face messed up. He wasn't going nowhere near, baby. She was banging his car down. She bashed the windows, told him to get out. She's like, that's my son. She's like, you come to my house, my brothers is going to beat your ass. And they was like right there. They was with the mess. And I said, yeah, pretty Angel. Now he know where his money, shake your money maker. He knew. He said, no, baby. No. And he's a materialistic little punk. He really is. Because he's like, this is my car. It's my car. It's a car, Angel. It's a car. You shake your ass every night. You can buy another one, baby. Ain't no thing. Anyway, so that was that whole thing. She busted him, or thinks she busted him, but she thinks she's busted him messing with Kimmy. That ain't it at all, dear. That ain't it. He ain't messing with Kimmy. He got a man throwing blood up on him, honey, anyway. So that was that whole thing. She was so ready to actually go against Horace and take Horace down. I was like, that's a whole big old mess. And he's too entitled too. He was just his whole attitude just too entitled. So after that little situation happened, I'm looking at Kimmy. I'm like, oh, Kimmy, you making real stupid mistakes. Now, Kimmy decides she's ready to go ahead and go along with Angel to take down Horace, because now Angel ain't got no place to stay. Angel will have to stay there with Kimmy. So she's already thrown off, she could use the help of Angel staying there with her, because now, her girlfriend is gone. She done died, so I guess help with the rent and stuff. So, being with Angel is going to help her out, I guess. Lord have mercy. We don't need them two to get together, so don't even try to pen that in there, Tyler. But something tells me that Angel... No, this is Tyler. See, if I was writing... Here we go, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. It just is what it is. That's why y'all tune into me and my reviews, because I will tell you what I would do as a writer. Instead of listen, this is my review, so I do it my way. If I was writing this, Angel would be gone. I would definitely write into the story, because Angel's so entitled and he's so sloppy and he's so arrogant and narcissistic. I would definitely make it to where Angel gets mixed up in his behaviors and rubs Horace the wrong way and gets tapped out. But in Tyler Perry land, pretty men seem to last. His face card works even on the cutting table. So I don't think. I really would be shocked if Angel get taken out. But I just don't want him to try to put Angel and Kimmy together. We don't need that at all. Anyway, so here we go. Remember I said Jules was playing both ends against the middle. Now he done talked to Norman. Now he got his raggedy behind over there talking to Horace. And he done told Horace some mess about the boys. And Horace, it really freaks me out. Horace is behind. Horace is like, I hate those boys. Like I really believe he really does hate his sons. He completely hates Charles because Charles is his duplicate. Charles is him brought into the world with the realness attached. He's his inner gay in real life form. He literally hates Charles. And Roy is just a disappointment. Period. He's an idiot. So he is literally his insecurities. You got your inner insecurities and you got your inner gay walking around in the real world. He hates them both. I'm like, that's awful. That is awful. But it comes out, the whole thing about Ina and all of this and Norman and what Norman's fears are about Ina. And Horace basically tells Jules, you take care of it. And he said, the owner at a hospital, the guy who runs the hospital, he literally owes me a few favors. He says, well, what kind of favor? This line killed me, baby. I said, come on, Horace. That's what I told you. I do like. There's the gangster side of Horace I really like because he's that dude. Like he really is cold-blooded, but he don't do all that extra. See, Norman is all that extra bravado and all that loud shit. Horace is, for me, I think the really dangerous one. I think Olivia got it wrong. I think Horace is the one that is the one because he's quiet. He's like a quiet storm. Quiet people, you got to watch them, child. Quiet people will tear your soul apart and never flinch. Norman's going to scream and yell and tell you, he won't do it, but he's going to scream and yell, and you got a chance to try to fix it because he's screaming and yelling and telling you what he's going to do. Now, Horace told him, I got the guy owns the hospital, he owes me favors. Jules said, what kind of favors? He said, the only favors that I have owed are all bodies. I said, oh. Yes, Horace. Loves me some Horace. Anyway, moving right along. Can't stand that part of him about his son and his inner gay and all that. But his gangster side, I'm here for it. He's the real deal. I'm here for that. Okay, so I told you the girls, the hoes, was down to the Waffle House. Down to the Waffle House or down to the Denny's, how to get the sandwich. Jules done pulled up on him. He get out there, he beat old body, it's old old man, bitch, get on out there. So she get up and she go out there, and he's fussing at her about Kimmy and this, that, and that. Maybe I need to go ahead and give her your spot. She's like, no, don't do me like that, Jules, this, that, and the other. He basically gaslighting her, playing games with her. So, see, look, things is all about you. No, that's actually you, Jules. But he got her, she all scary. Then she literally is like, no, baby, I just want to make you happy. She tried to pull on Jules what I told y'all Kimmy should be pulling on Roy. Maybe she tried to suck him off, honey. That fool grabbed her by her face. He is so abusive. Tyler, this is such a bad look for you. Oh my God. It's such a bad look. That whole, people get very irritated. And when I say it's a bad look for Tyler, people really do go after Tyler. And I'm not. This is his writing. He can write however he wants to write. But people really put this on Tyler, and I really do hate it. But they say like the rape type culture type thing and this abuse of women stuff. But this is somehow this type of lifestyle that he's writing about goes. But they throw that on Tyler, and it's bothersome. But anyway, he grabbed her by her face and tells her, open your mouth. This degradation, okay? Open your mouth. He said, do you think I can't see all the men that been in there? Jules is a cold-blooded, rude. I said, oh my God. He told her, you disappoint me even. You think I would have that from you? I said, oh, girl. I mean, if that didn't crush your spirit, she stood up there looking all stupid and carried on and told her basically, maybe I need to go ahead and give that Kimmy girl your spot. He don't even remember Kimmy's name. He talked to her so bad, and you could just see her deflate. And then he told her, get out, put her all out of his car. I said, oh my God. He literally talked to her like and treated her like trash. And listen, I was sitting on the edge of this couch, and I was, because when he tore her over her mouth, I thought he was going to spit in her mouth. And I was like, because see, like I said, people give Tyler a hard time, but truly, like pimps that are real nasty and rude like that would have did some shit like that. And I was like, I said, if he spits in her mouth, I'm just going to just die. I'm just going to die. I thought he was. And I was so happy when it didn't happen because I was like, oh, but I thought that was really going to be the way it was going to go. But he talked to her so bad and he really just ripped her apart as a woman. And just, I was like, oh God, put her out the car. She go back in. And of course she go in there. She hollering at them, telling them, let's go. This, that, the other. Holler. What are you hollering at them for? What are you hollering at them for? So the two girls, they go about their business because they ain't shit. And she's sitting there with Madame. And they sitting there talking. And then she basically decides she going to go after Kimmy now. She's going after Kimmy. And they're going to go after Angel. They're going to go after Kimmy and they're going to go after Angel. Because Angel be hanging around Kimmy. I said, Lord, see, y'all. Now, Angel, you got another set of enemies. I said, Lord have mercy. And she said, yeah, we're going to go after, we're going to go find Kimmy's mother. Where's her mother at? I know she got a little sister. So they're going to go turn her sister out. I said, Lord have mercy. And the bad thing is that Kimmy ain't did nothing to Body. Body's jealous of Kimmy. She did nothing to her. Anyway, that ain't her fault that your pimp don't think you shit. Stupid. Anyway, so let's go back over here to this hospital. Norma's in there. There's this nurse coming there. She's sweet talking Norman. I thought it was very strange. She's sweet talking Norman, and oh yeah, your family does so much for this hospital. Blah blah blah. Norman don't really know so much of what she talking about because the shit that got done for the hospital actually was Horace. The monies and things that been contributed to the hospital was Horace, but he's used to living in Horace's shadow, so he ain't paying no attention. She messed with the IV and whatever. And later on, and she kept saying, do you want us to put you a bed in here? So they said, no. She said, if you change your mind, let me know. She going out. He ends up about an hour or so later, he going out there and says, yeah, I'll take that bed. Now they're like, what bed? What you want? And here, this child, she was never on the schedule. Norman's still being Norman. He ain't paying no attention. He ends up going on, doing this thing. And doing his thing and go on back in the room and sit on down and think no more about it. I say to myself, baby, that was the Jules effect. Jules just got you, baby. Because that nurse, she didn't exist. Said now either this is turned into a Stephen King movie or you really slow and ain't paying no attention. You just said yourself that you thought the family was after your wife. Now you got a nurse that ain't on the schedule, that been in here fooling with her IV, and it ain't clicked to you. That maybe that's the setup right up underneath your nose. You think you really are the slick, the sly, and the wicked. The truth of the matter is the slick, the sly, and the wicked is Jules. He got y'all all fooled. Anyway, moving on. So here we go. Let's get to the good. When we gonna get to the good part? Barney. Here's why Barney and Charles and Mallory is an interesting topic. Mallory calls Charles. Mallory tells Charles, because they cool. They cool. We know that. Mallory, and that's her Judy. Okay. That's why I said you gotta like somebody in the family. It's Charles. Charles and Mallory, they just slick the sly and the wicked too. But naturally, Charles is a queen. Charles is more wicked than Miss Mallory. Baby, She tell them they need to get things going. She done told them, that Barney had told her a little something, gave her a little heads up. Charles was like, okay, hang up the phone. He like, hey, babe, he get out the bed, because she woke him up. He get out the bed. He go in there, baby, who's in the shower? Barney. I said, Lord have mercy. This is why you couldn't get Barney in the bed, because he's screwing Charles. I said, good evening. Good evening. So Charles and Barney are actually a couple. They're a couple. And again, you have to understand there are levels to the shit as far as how couples work and people who are out versus people who are not out. And, couples are what they are. You got couples, you got throuples, you got folks who have open marriages. This ain't nothing no different. This is just what it is. They have an understanding and they deal with each other. This is just what they do. Come on, I'm doing a video. They just doing what they do. And I said, wow. So them two is actually messing around. I said, okay, cool, no problem. And I mean, really, like they got a real relationship. They got to understand about what they do. This one does what he gonna do. That one do what he gonna do. That one poses it straight. That one is just a sissy. It just is what it is. I said, oh, okay, no problem. No problem. But that is why Mallory could not get Barney to sleep with her, because Barney is sleeping with her Judy. Okay. Now, do I think that that's the last we're going to see it at? I think at some point we're going to end up seeing where it's pushed, where it's either going to have to come out or they're going to get down. I said, Lord have mercy, Tyler Perry. You are doing the absolute most, and I love it. Anyway, so Jillian gets mad. She mad about her man, and she mad about Mallory. And Mallory talked to her so bad. She talked to her so bad. She told her, she said, you know why I don't want you to ride with, because she told her, I don't want you to ride with me today. I said, girl, and I know that I had to cut like a knife. She was just screwing your man last night. And now she gonna ride with him as the driver. She don't want you to sit in the back with her. And then told her, you know why I don't want you to ride with me? Because you stink. I said, she's ignorant too. She really is ignorant. Set her on in there. So she go in there and say, I stink. Okay, whore. She went in there and said, I'm gonna go in here and screw your husband since I stink. I said, go, Jillian. Jillian went in there and made a play for Roy. Roy all coked up and paranoid. Now, Roy, you've been making her suck you off. Now, all of a sudden, she ready to really knock it off and really get it moving. And you don't want to mess with her because you all paranoid now with Mallory. You think Mallory out to get you. Mallory don't know nothing about what he's talking about. He done called her on the phone. Oh, you trying to set me up? This, that, thinking me up. Stupid. I told y'all he got an IEP. That dude is slow as hell. Moving on. Here's the last thing. Last thing. Baby. These scenes, Tyler, with you killing people real fast, it drives me crazy. Like, can we get some lead up? Can we get some drama? Can you make an extra track of music to build the suspense? You just don't give a shit. You just, okay, the bitch is dead. And that's it. Come on now, Tyler. Goes over there. Norman goes over and goes to ask some questions, and the doctor come in and tells him basically that the wife is brain dead. He like, wait a minute, hold on. You just said she was getting better last night or yesterday afternoon. And she's like, yeah, something changed. Something changed during the night. And now she basically is brain dead. And he's sitting up there. He still ain't connecting the dots that it was that nurse or whatever. Anyway, he goes through all that. He ends up calling Horace. Now he going to yell and scream at Horace. He talked to Jules, told Jules, I want to move my wife. I ain't taking her off of the life support. They done told you the life support's the other thing keeping her alive. He ain't gonna take her off the life support because he's just stupid and arrogant. Gonna make her suffer. He takes and calls Horace. Now it's clicking to him. Oh, it was probably that nurse that done fucked my wife up. He calls Horace, blames everything on Horace. Well, I mean, it really was Horace because Horace said Jules and Jules took care of it. But he tells Horace, I'll kill both your sons. I'm going to kill them both. Well, hello. Horace don't like neither one of his sons. He don't give a shit. He don't give a shit. I was like, oh, that's cold. But I told y'all, Horace is the type of gangster that I like. Because Horace got his own thing. If he killed both the sons, he'll be happy because he don't like neither one of them. So that's fine. Go on and kill him. But he told him, when he said, I told you he's a man of very few words. He told that motherfucker, he said, don't call, announce and shit. Just do it. And hung up the phone. I said, okay, listen, I'm enjoying myself. Tyler Perry, some things you are doing that is just right. Everything that you do with Horace and these one-liners and his how he just dismisses shit, that is perfect. But the killing off of people, you got to do a little build to killing the people off. We walk in the hospital, they go, oh, bitch dead. And that just be it. It loses some of the impact. Come on, Tyler. Come on now. Anyway, listen, that was episode 5. I'll see y'all. We only got 3 episodes left. This is just all the foolishness that I needed, baby. This is Beauty in Black, Netflix, Tyler Perry. Hot ass mess. I will talk to y'all later.